It is a finger food with mysterious origins. No one is quite certain how monkey bread got its name, but the one sure thing is we think it's delicious.
Oh yeah, especially when it's being made by award-winning chef and Big 1077 Steve Monz. Welcome back to the DelmarvaLife kitchen.
Missed you so much.
We are doing monkey bread, or as what we used to call it in elementary school,
Monkey balls.
monkey balls.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this until like really recently. I'd never heard of
Really?
it. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
All right.
Well,
yeah.
yours is marvelous, by the way.
Marvelous is a great way to describe it. It's delicious. If you've never had it before, it's going to be a treat.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
when I grew up, my mom actually would buy one that would be frozen, and you just heat it up.
Really?
But there is obviously a recipe, and there's several different ways that you can make this, but you know me, I like to go the easy route, right, whenever possible. So you could do it with your own dough. You could make your own dough, and you could dice it up into little balls, but we're going to use biscuit mix,
Okay.
which I've used before, if you remember, for the donuts.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
Very
That's
successfully
right.
too.
So what we're going to do is, Lisa, you're going to be in charge of making the monkey balls.
Okay.
I'm going to make the sauce that goes in the middle, and Jimmy, you're going to make the icing.
I'm making the icing?
So we're going to have all three of us working on this. So all you have to do, I've got the big buttery biscuits. Adds a little bit more butter. I knew we shouldn't have given him the blender.
Never. Never.
So you're going to dice those up into quarters.
Okay.
And then some people roll them into balls, some people don't. You can do no matter what, it doesn't matter. You can put them into the sugar and cinnamon mix.
Oh, okay.
And roll them around in there, and I've done a few of them already for us.
Okay.
And those will be the basis of it.
Right.
Now my sauce in the middle is going to be nothing really very simple. It's just a stick of butter, a whole stick of butter, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then just a little bit of cinnamon. And so I'm going to work on this to make it more of a sauce, which we'll pour on top. And then you get the delicious icing. This is what gives it the marvelousness.
The marvelousness.
Oh.
So you've got a 1 block of cream cheese. It's 8 ounces. And it's you want to let it sit out for a little while so it gets soft, so it's a little bit easier for you to blend it. So you can get that started, and then
So
put in a few ingredients.
I'm going to beat this thing into submission.
I let that sit out. I thought it'd be a little softer than that.
Do you know what I heard the other day?
What's that?
A good mother lets you lick the blades off the beater. A great mother turns it off first.
Oh, there you go.
I'm going to grab some.
It's a classic that really never gets old.
Never
does
gets
it?
old.
No. So the cream cheese really does give it a neat taste. If you ever had a cream cheese icing on all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
What you're going to do is now, while you got that going, I'm going to pour in a 1/2 cup of powdered sugar.
Okay.
The sweetness. And then to give you a little bit more liquid, you get a 1/4 cup of milk.
Oh, good.
And it should be whole milk. You can put in whichever you'd like, but
you
the
wanna
whole
do.
milk is
All right. Yeah.
gives it a little bit more of that fat that we're always looking for. And then a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. Now don't skip out on the vanilla, because that really does give it a nice flavor. So it's two teaspoons of this, and actually this will be up on our website if you're looking for the recipe, and you can figure out and make it yourself.
Right.
So 1 and 2,
Ellie.
and away you go.
And away I go.
So what's neat about this is something that you can actually have the kids or the grandkids help you out with.
Yeah.
Make sure their hands are clean and have them roll in the dough there.
Yeah, I tried these gloves. These gloves are trash. I need different gloves.
So,
But they're in front of Jimmy, and I don't want to approach him while he...
What?
he can be
I need gloves.
he can be a little dangerous there with the blender.
It's a mixer.
I could
Mixer
get
blender.
this across the room, I'm sure.
So what's great about this is, I don't know why I always think of it as a fall dessert, but you can have it any time of year, but it has that cinnamon and brown sugar, and it gives you that fall appeal. And what's nice about it, it literally is pull-apart bread.
Do I put these in here?
You can put those in there for now,
Okay.
because what we're doing is I'm going to take, once I get this down a little bit, doing the mixture of the brown sugar and the butter and the cinnamon, we're going to put a little bit in the base of the bundt pan,
Okay.
and then we're going to put in some of the balls, and then we'll put some more of the syrup on the kind of the sauce on top of that.
Sauce on top.
Now, Jimmy, I have a question for you, because you always have tons of useless knowledge roaming around in your head. Do you know where the name bundt pan came from?
Bundt pan, B-U-N-D-T. I have no clue.
It's actually German.
Oh, really?
Okay,
It's a
sounds
combination of bun and Kuchen, which means group bread. How about that?
Bun and kuchen.
Ah,
Bun and Kuchen.
Our bun and kuchen bread.
Or bundt pan.
Bundt pan.
learning all kinds of things
The bundt
here.
pan works out really well. You can use other things. You can use a cake pan. You could use a loaf pan, things like that, whatever works.
But you want to use your bun and kuchen pan.
Right. Makes you feel a little bit more international, give you an international
Yeah.
Gives
flavor.
some flair.
Well, we still have a little bit of work to do here, so we're going to take a little break and come back, put this together. And you're going to talk about some stuff you got happening over there at Big 1077. Stick around, DelmarvaLife will be right back. Well, as you can see, everyone still has our fingers and all of our toes here in the DelmarvaLife kitchen. Jimmy wielding his high-powered mixer over there.
They took away my mixer.
Yeah, we just unplugged it.
Yeah.
But you were whipping up a delicious icing for our
I was whipping up a
monkey
delicious
bread,
icing all over
right?
the place. Yes,
Yeah.
I was. Yes. So, listen, icing that's going on Big 1077's Steve Monz marvelous monkey bread or monkey balls. So, where are we here? What are we doing?
All right, so now the assembly part.
Assembly.
Okay.
Assemble it, and then we're going to disassemble it when we eat it. But basically, in your bundt pan, you're going to put a little bit of that mixture that I made up of the brown sugar and the putting in the butter and a little bit of the cinnamon. You won't want to put too much, but just a little bit on the bottom, because when you cook with a bundt pan, at the end you're going to flip it over.
Right.
So the
this
bottom
is the
becomes
top.
the top.
Okay.
So now you can, Lisa, you can start putting those in there,
Just
and you
plopping
just
them down
randomly plop them in there. They'll
okay.
gravity will pull them all down. And I originally made this with 3 cans of the dough. But you really only need 2, because when I did the test run, they expand.
Oh,
Oh,
but that was
okay.
fun to see.
So it was kind of crazy in my house, like, oh, it's getting larger.
It's growing.
So, but I would say 2 of them, and they have different size biscuits that you can get, the big ones or the smaller ones. It works with either one, whichever you want to do. I like the bigger bites, the bigger chunks out of it. So. And so you just put those all randomly in there, and then we're going to put the rest of the sauce on top,
Right.
and it goes into the oven for 350 degrees for about 30 minutes or so.
Okay. Okay.
And you'll be able to tell when you start to pull it apart. You want to make sure the inside is done. You
It's
don't
done,
want it to be
right.
raw and gooey.
Doughy and all that stuff.
Although some people like that, but you don't
I
want to
do
put-
like that. I have to admit.
And so like I said, this is a really fun thing to have around the table, like for the holidays and such, because people can just kind of pull at it, grab a piece, and however, it's just kind of a fun food, a fun dessert that I think everybody likes. If you like cinnamon and you like butter, and
I haven't even had any yet, and this looks like fun and that it's going to taste good.
all right, so then we just put the
But I
rest
can
of the
tell you,
sauce on top.
The first thing I do is I pour that sauce right in the hole in the middle.
Well, yeah, you got to be careful about that.
Then it would end up on the table.
Yeah.
And so it's as simple as that. And gravity will do the work too. It'll pull the rest of the sauce down through the rest of the monkey balls.
Because you don't want them completely soaked, right? You would
Well-
just want a flavor, a taste.
Well, you want it as soaked as
You want it
possible.
soaked, okay.
So this will actually go into the oven,
Okay.
350 degrees,
Right, yeah,
for
right.
about, like I said, about 30 minutes.
Okay.
So you stick that in there,
30 minutes.
and through the magic of television, we have the finished product.
It rose into the microwave.
Yes, this was the one that turned out a little large last night, but you can see it makes it when you flip
That's
the
awesome.
pan over, and you can see all the little different pieces there, which
Okay.
is what we'll wind up pulling apart.
But
what was-
not before the icing.
The icing.
Oh, yeah.
You almost
Which is
forgot about
so-
the
so
icing.
time for
I
the
was over
icing.
here playing with the icing. All right, you do
probably
the
should.
icing because I have no clue what you want to do.
Oh, there's no getting this wrong. All you have to do is just drizzle it on top.
You have never worked in the kitchen with me before.
I'll help you out. Here
You
we
do
go.
the thing here.
And just,
Oh my goodness.
you want to make as much of a mess as possible.
Score.
And don't worry about it missing or going all over the place, because you're just going to wind up dipping it wherever you find some icing.
In whatever sense. Oh, okay.
Right. Whoop. I don't think we're going on the road with this anytime soon.
I think you're right, but that's okay.
I don't think it's going to make it out of the DelmarvaLife kitchen, to be
Trying to say the
honest.
exact
Yeah.
same thing.
Now, will that icing kind of harden up, or will it
It
stay?
does, yeah. It's basically like your regular cinnamon roll
Yeah.
icing. And again, you can put on as much of this as you want, as little, or you don't have to put any on. I've seen other people put maple syrup on top. It's whatever you want to do. So,
Yeah, I could see that, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I'd go with this. I'm assuming there's no really
Thank you.
neat, clean way to eat it. You just dig it.
right, we talked about pulling it apart with your fingers, but when it
Yeah.
gets this gooey, you're better off using a fork.
use a fork.
Look,
probably.
look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's a
Got
little
that all
too
figured
much. That's a little too much.
Okay,
I don't.
What was this thing you were talking about that you wanted to?
The
Oh, my charity walk
Yes,
is coming
that's
up.
what it was.
Yes,
Yes,
this is really fun. Everybody has heard about 5Ks and charity walks. Well,
Really
I
good.
have put together a charity walk for people who don't like to walk. Now, I know that sounds silly. So instead of a 5K, we're doing a 5F, a 5-foot walk.
Oh,
So it's really cool. The town of Ocean City is going to let us close off Wacomico Street on Saturday, November 23rd, from 3 until 7. The actual walk will take place at 5. and all of our registrants. It costs $20. All the money goes to Special Olympics.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we'll have a race course set up with a start line, a finish line, water tables for those who can't quite make it the 5
Oh,
feet.
my goodness.
It's a long ways.
And then we finish up as the front door of Crawl Street Tavern, where we have a live band with Fuzzbox Piranha, and we have a silent auction with all sorts of great items.
Oh, wow.
And there's all sorts of wonderful things for everybody who is involved with it. You get food and drinks, and
So
it's a lot of fun.
how does one train for a 5F?
Well, it's
gonna be-
literally just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other
Okay.
and not giving up for about 3 seconds.
All right, and then and now people like Jimmy, whose legs are 5 feet long, they have an advantage.
I have a chance. I still won't come in first.
You'll be surprised. I've done this once before, and people will try to win. Other folks will hang back and they realize what their capabilities are. They'll take their time. But
It's not a sprint. It's a journey.
Correct. It's open to all ages, and if folks who are encouraged, if you want to raise money beforehand, we're going to have prizes for people who raise the most money. And like I said, all the money goes to Special Olympics to support my polar bear plunge,
Right.
which is jumping into the Atlantic Ocean, which nobody else wants to do. So
You are so awesome. You
I
are
don't think
so
Jimmy
awesome.
likes the monkey bread.
I'm not sure yet.
no, you might want to keep trying just to make sure.
Just to make sure. Well, Steve, thank you so much for coming in the DelmarvaLife kitchen. Of course, you can catch him on Big 1077's The Rock Shop every weekday morning.
That's right, from 6 until 10.
He may be munching on one of these. You never know.
You never know.